This is Course 2, Study Guide 4. Number 1. If Karen celebrated her 52nd birthday in 2010, in what year was she born? Well, let's take 2010 and take the 52 away from that. I didn't line that up very well. Let's see. We can't take 2 from 0, so we're going to borrow from this 1 and make it 10. So 2 from 10 is 8. I can't take 5 from 0, so I'm going to have to come over here. I can't borrow from the 0, so actually I'm just going to go ahead and borrow from the whole 20 and make it 19. So 5 from 10 is 5, and then 19. So she was born in 1958. Number 2, the farmer harvested 8,000 bushels of grain from 50 acres. How many bushels of grain were harvested for each acre? So we can write that as 8,000 bushels over 50 acres. And so you can see that if we want to know how many harvested for 1 acre, each acre, that we just divide the 50 into the 8,000. 1 time 30, bring down the 0, and 50 goes into 300 6 times, which comes out even. Bring down your 0, and then 50 goes into 0 times. So they harvested 160 bushels per acre. You don't have to put the per acre on there, but I'm going to write that just so that makes that less confusing. If the length of a rectangle is 12 centimeters and the width is 6 centimeters, let's draw that picture. We're going to need this problem down here in just a minute, so I'm going to go ahead and draw it. I think it's number 8. You've got a 12 centimeter length and a 6 centimeter width, centimeters, and you want to know the area. Well, the area is the length times the width, which is 12 centimeters times 6 centimeters is 72, and you're multiplying centimeters times centimeters, which is square centimeters. So be sure and write the correct units on that. Number 4 says reduce 5 and 12/20ths. Well, I'm going to take the 12/20ths over here and divide it by 4 over 4 and get 3/5. And so I'll come back up here and put the 5 on it and write 5 and 3/5. Number 5, complete the equivalent fraction. 3 over 4 equals something over 24. Well, if they're equivalent fractions, then we can multiply this fraction times a form of 1, which is any fraction whose numerator and denominator is the same, and get the numerator here. So what times 6 is 24? Well, try that again. What times 4 is 24? That's a 6. Well, if you multiply the bottom times 6, you've got to multiply the top times 6, and 6 times 3 is 18. The square root of 49 is 7 because 7 times 7 is 49. That's a perfect square. Find the missing number. 450 minus something is equal to 321. Well, if we need to take something away from 350, that we can just flip it around and do the 450 minus the 321 and do a little bit of borrowing. 1 from 0, borrow from the 5. So 1 from 10 is 9. 2 from 4 is 2, and 3 from 4 is 1. So 450 minus 129 will give us the 321, and I'll write over here x equals 129. Now we're going to be finding the perimeter back of the picture that we did, so I'm going to slide it over here for you. The perimeter is the distance around it. Well, we know if it's a rectangle, this side over here is the same as this one, 12 centimeters. And we know this side over here is 6 centimeters, the same as this. So we can simply add up all those numbers. So we've got 12 centimeters plus, and you can add them any way you want to. I'm going to do them like that. 12 plus 12, and then the 6 plus 6. That's all 4 sides. And if you just add left to right, we've got 12 plus 12 is 24, plus 6 is 30, plus 6 is 36 centimeters. A sheet of plywood is 4 feet wide. Complete this function table to determine the width in inches of a sheet of plywood. Now that's a little misleading because the table is not dealing with plywood and feet, it's dealing with how many feet in inches. So it's going to be true no matter what problem we're dealing with, and then I'll show you which part of that would be the answer. It just says if you have 1 foot, that's your input, you choose the feet. How many inches do you have? Well, you have 12 inches. And if you have 2 feet, you have 24 inches. and 3 feet is 36 inches. We're just multiplying by 12 all the way across. 4 times 12 is 48, and 5 times 12 is 60. And then when the question was, complete the function to tell how many inches wide a sheet of plywood is. Well, it will be that 48 inches, because if it's 4 feet wide, it will be 48 inches wide.